Hello guys, I'm here with another dev diary. This is part 6 and will be the last part of the dev diary 7 uh, sequel, you could say. So we had 6 parts now. Hopefully I showed you enough. What I just want to show you are just uh, units that are not part of the Carlist Wars, at least for the moment. At release, we just, as I said previously, we were focused on the first 5 tiers. This is where the third Carlist Wars ended in 1876. So it makes sense that, of course, they will not be added to the game. There's only one, that is the Gatling gun, because the French were using them at the Franco-Prussian War, at least the third Republican units. So those one will be tier 5 third Republican units. For the rest, excuse me, I had something in my throat. For the rest, everything, the other machine guns that I will show you now are not part of the tier 5. That means it will be tier 6, 7, and 8. So I will just show you what to expect in later games. As I said, they will not be yet available for the tier 5 units. I'm just using a vanilla map called the Gunma field. You probably know this. So okay, so here we have the Gatling guns. So those are tier 5 units, as you can see. The same as vanilla, except that the textures have changed. So those are the French tier 1 tier 5 units. So there will be in a later moment where you have like an improved Gatling gun version with much more ammo and with an enclosure. It looks more like a modern guns, the ones that were used in the Spanish-American war. So that's like tier 7, I guess, something like this. Yeah, it's tier 7. So yeah, all of them have a certain ammo, as I said in the previous video. Gatling guns have an ammunition of 1000, so the higher you go in tier, the more ammunition you have per unit. This will be added, some additions or effects can be added during the campaign. So I'm still looking into maybe adding a supply wagon, but that's for an idea for the future. But here you have the Gatling gun. I paused the game so you have an idea how it looks. So this is the Gatling gun with a different texture, and here you have the wagons, special wagons of the game. Here we have the Maxim guns. So those are directly tier 7. Those are the first Maxim guns. So those are the ones that were used during the scramble for Africa. This is the first real version used in the field. As you can see, you have a trigger here, a bit like a gun, and here you have the gun itself. So you can see that I animated. You will see when I fire, when they get fire, that the ammunition here will go inside the mechanism to fire. It's just it's not really the way it should be, but it's the only way I could animate it in a circle. So, and also here you have an ammo box. So here you can see the Maxim guns tier 7. So the first real used Maxim guns. Let's continue to the next one. Here we have the Gardner guns, tier 6. So they're, the Maxim guns are tier 7. Here we have the tier 6 Gardner guns. They're a bit the same mechanism as the Gatling gun. So they are a manual machine gun. The Maxim guns were like the first automatic siege gun, machine guns. And I think the way Hiram Maxim used to create an automatic system is he was using the kinetic energy at the recoil of guns, and he used it so it could automatically be fired on. It's very complicated, but there's like a website, a website, but also on YouTube there are some videos that a creator did where he really creates like the Gardner guns and the Maxim guns, how the mechanism work. I will see if I can find the website, and if I find it or the videos, I will put it in the link in the description below. So the Gardner guns made by Gardner, of course. The Gardner, he didn't, if I remember correctly, he didn't had enough money really to finance it, so he had to go to a gun maker that created the Gardner gun. Now there were many versions, just as like the Maxim guns and the Gatling guns, by the way. So this is a version I used that was mostly popular during that time. There were other ones also, I think, even with like more barrels, a bit like the Nordenfeld gun. So yeah, and here you have the magazine that gets fired. So this is the Gardner gun. Let's continue to the last one. And here we have the MG Maxim guns. So the MG Maxim guns, famously used during World War One. Many nations use them. The Germans, the British, the Russians, many actually used this gun. There were others like the Hotchkiss gun used by the French. I'm not sure if the French were using the Maxim guns, but there is a big possibility. Most nations did. I think the Hotchkiss was mostly used right before World War One, but I'm not certain. As I said, I studied a bit some stuff of it, but that doesn't mean I know everything. I'm sure people can elaborate on this, but this is the first MG Maxim gun. I call it MG Maxim gun, not MG version this. It's just for standardization. You know, it is not World War One. So this is like for me the first MG Maxim gun. As you can see, it's holding it there. So a bit the same as the first one with ammunition here. And remember, everything has been animated custom made animations, so they are on their knees, while the other ones like the Gardner gun, Gatling gun and mitrailleuse, they all are standing because they need to turn the lever to fire. So this is an automated gun, and as I said, the higher the tier, the more ammunition. So this one has a 2500 ammunition. So yeah, and it's, you know, most automatic guns of those time were made on a chariot, you could say, or a carriage. Not a chariot, a carriage. So I know that in later times they will use it more on the floor, especially in World War One. But let's see them in action, eh? Okay. So this is a replay, just to make it easier for me. I used tier 5 units of the Third Republic, so they actually are the same units. So they are where, I mean, as you have seen in the previous video, they have Gras Fusil guns. Yeah, rifles. Pretty good rifles. So, you know, and you can also see that the formation is a bit more open. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of history buffs will complain and say like, yeah, but you know, this is not how modern troops were going on the battlefield. You must understand that the Victorian age was a lot of how can I say, different experimentation in warfare. It really took long. The French were still using mass volley fire during World War One, at least in the first year, you could say, with very modern guns. So I think I explained in some other stories, but you know, it was really, you know, the Victorian age was really an experiment from a linear combat towards more on a battalion level combat, trench warfare. So yeah, this is what I want to show in game. Is it entirely historical accurate? No, of course not. You know, you are also limited with the engine and limited the way the units can behave. I know the World War One team guys did a pretty good job, so I also want to give credit to them for actually the sound files of the MG gun, because you will see that the manual guns, automatic guns, have a special sound file, while the automatic ones have another sound file that I used from the Great War mod. So credit goes to them. I asked them, of course, their permission, So all credit goes to them. So let's see if they're going to start firing. This is the Gatling gun, as you can see. No, pretty normal. Let's go a bit slower. So as you can see, it rotates, the rotating turret, as you have in vanilla. So this is the MG, this is the normal Maxim gun, and they're just fire. You can see that the animation is, you know, it's like going inside the thing. Now it's a bit slow, but you know, you get the point. And here is the other MG. So here, and this is the Gardner gun. It's the same as the Gatling gun. So, and here we have the MG one. Nice, I guess. Let's put on play. Of course, the different sounds between a full automatic one and a manual one. This is the Maxim gun again with the same rotation. But you can see, of course, this is it's pretty, you know, destroys all the units, huh? So we have a FotS, so it holds a bit of bullets, so those ones take a bit longer. But yeah, I don't think that will, you know, bye-bye for them. Bang, 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 bang. As I said, all animated. All custom animated, so. And as you can see, that was it for this part. So yeah, I mean, you can see it's very devastating. I don't know if you can see the bullets here. You can see the yellow bullets, as you can see the magazine. So those are the metallic cartridges. Those are the same ones that actually are using the Krasfusil, because we are going from paper to metallic cartridges. So it's pretty devastating, as you can see. I have like only like, yeah, a pretty I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 machine guns, so you know that helps. But you know, I'm really happy for this one. So we have breech loaded guns and we have now machine guns. So let's just talk a bit further about the end goal, and let's just finish this battle. So here you can see I deployed 184 units and I lost 0. They deployed 624 units and they lost 518. Let's see the best one. Gatling guns. Okay. Maxim guns, MG ones, and the Gardner guns. Now remember, the Gatling guns were entirely on the left, so they had an open terrain, almost no elevation, so they could just, you know, shoot clearly. While the other ones had, you know, they had to fire through the forest. So as I said previously, it really helps. Bloody heck. Okay, I don't know if my micro works again or not. Okay, yeah, sorry, my micro was doing strange. So, you know, here you can see that, you know, the Gardner guns, Maxim guns, and they were firing in the forest. So, you know, this holds a bit of bullets, you know, how it is realistic. I mean, you shoot against trees, especially with Maxim guns. I mean, with machine guns, you know, you cannot just really, you can shoot pretty okay, you know, but you devastate a lot. But, you know, to really pinpoint, it's not really easy, and especially when you got like some collision files in front of you, like trees or buildings, this will have an impact. So tier 5, 6, 7, and 8. So here you can see how they look, the icons that are made for those ones. So tier 5, 1870, 1880. Tier 6 will be 1880, 1890, or the 1880s. Tier 7 will be 1890, 1900. So that's like the 1890s, tier 7. And tier 8 is 1900 plus, pre-World War, you could say. So what's the future of the mod? This is the end of the Dev Diary 7. I hope you enjoyed it. There were a lot of things I had to show. So I think it was the first time I really worked on like videos. I don't like to make so much videos, but okay. But what's the future of the mod? Well, I'm currently working on enlarging the campaign map. I have to test some stuff like how large I can go. I also need to make like still the other tier ones for the British, the Spanish liberals, and absolutists, or the Carlists, and the Portuguese. So it will still take a while before I really finish that part. After that, I have to make the campaign map like full playable ready, you could say. That means like with everything, it will take a pretty long time. After that, I have to make scripts to change like the summer to winter dress, the tier level units when they change in game. I have to make other special scripts and whatnot. Also, we have to revamp the buildings for the campaign map. We have to revamp the tech tree, because the tech tree is pretty basic. It never really changed since, you could say, the first version that I ever made for Toll Fall of the Samurai, so it has to change entirely. And also after that, I still need to make custom siege battle maps, so siege maps, so that when they look more European style, Mediterranean and you know, North European style cities, you know, cities, forts, whatnot. I also need to create custom battle maps. That will also take a while. I need to make custom ships, because you know, the first tier units will be sail ships, like post, I call